Hey, how's it going? The customary throat clearing. Good God. I am going to ask you to look at some signs before I start talking about some cards. So, I pulled 2 cards today. And I pulled the first card from the Shaman's Dream Oracle deck. And it is the number 31 card in the hand, and the subtitle is "The Universe is Your Partner." And if you'll notice, there is the index finger there. Seems to be like igniting. Maybe touching that cottony looking cloudy background there. That haze is flammable apparently. And so I also okay, don't get ahead of yourself. I looked at this card, and the finger thing especially. This is something I came to like after I did all my little notes or whatever, which is what I was about to say. Well, I'm still going to say it. I'm just tripping all over my own order. Say a sentence. I wrote some notes, or took some notes, because when I pulled this card, I was like, I just... 2 things I got was very much a statue type vibe, like the hand is just a part of a statue, because look at it. It kind of just looks like weathered stone. I mean, more than a actual somebody's hand. And what's that? Well, I just don't know what it is, so I'm going to let you see and ask you. What's that? Right there. What is that little arc there? There seems to be some kind of vegetation happening, like around the forearm, like about here. But I don't know. Maybe the statue's in a garden. And the other thing was the finger. I had just seen something recently, and I wish I would have paid more attention. I never know what to pay attention to until later when it's too late. But you know the picture of God and David, I guess? And they're both sitting on clouds, and they're reaching out, and they're touching fingertips. And then also the E.T., somehow the E.T. finger thing came into this explanation of the God David finger touching thing. Like, it has a spiritual meaning. The painting makes like a metaphor, I guess, of like what the spiritual meaning is of the fingertips touching, but it's like the spark of life, I believe, is what it was, if I remember correctly. And I don't even know how to look that up. So what'll probably happen is, since I'm saying it around my phone, something about that, like maybe that story that I was reading, I don't even know where don't even know where it came from. Just right when I started talking, I remembered. Oh yeah. So the fingertip touching, it does have a spiritual meaning. And that got me looking. That's what my notes are about. So, spiritually, the hand symbolizes generosity, hospitality, welcome, offering, like, have the stone, and stability, which is, I mean, sure. In what way, though? I'm gonna get off of that because I'm it's gonna get stuck. So biblically, the hand is called in the Bible somewhere, because I just read this off of the internet. I'm not sure where this came from, but the hand is called the tool of tools. And that makes perfect sense. Like if you've ever seen like a cooking show, and the person is like, whatever, they don't have the particular utensil or tool they need, or for whatever reason they just are like, oh, I'll just use my hands. It's nature's tool. It's the tool you have to have heard something along those lines in your life. So yeah, the tool of tool things make sense. I was gonna say make sex. Okay, makes sense. Also, the biblical symbolism was strength and power. So the hands are a big old deal, I guess. And I'm gonna say that's an olden days notion, that not that it's gone away, but I would think that it kind of originated then, because that's when a lot of, I feel like, our mores and attitudes kind of were born from. Is, I don't want to just be all biblical, like the Bible was the only thing talking about old times around then, like the biblical times. And you ever notice how like the holy books only talk about like that area of the world, when there was a whole lot of other world fully going on? Isn't that interesting? Well, anyway, there was a lot of like, it reminded me of like Sunday school and youth minister kind of talk, but it said lend a hand, which is great, which is fine. That's what you want to do. Like my Good Samaritan and giving to the needy videos, that's lending a hand. And God, it can be all corny, but that's God's work. It is. Well, it's our work. I'm sure like God smiles upon it or whatever. But hands come up a lot just in our life, and they're just so important. I mean, as utensils, as tools, as utensils, as a pudding spoon. Except I got all the fingers. Pudding spoon. Yeah, I broke a couple, so they don't lay right. But I got them. I got all of them. This would make a mess, a real mess on my face with pudding. So it just made me start thinking of like other hand stuff. Like an open hand indicates that you have no weapon in it and that you are friendly. It's a friendly greet. It's a greet friendly. Oh, sorry, a meat friendly. One of these days I'll get it right. Lend a hand. Hey, hand it over. Give it back. Give it. Tug of war with your hands. Keep your mitts off mine, Jack. Get your own stack, mitts. Also with the grabbing and the gimme. Sticky fingers, rock and roll. Also leads me to the next card, sorta kinda, which I pulled from the Wild Unknown Animal Spirit deck. Well, that sounded like two voices coming out at the same time, and I wasn't doing anything throat singing wise. What's happening in there? Okay. So the card I pulled from the Wild Unknown Animal Spirit deck was the Raccoon card. And usually I don't focus on this at all because I don't look at them this way. But they do have the little mask, and they do have the little hunched over looking body. and they don't have a fedora, and the Hamburglar doesn't have a tail, but it the little mask is all rubble. And then, like, the reputation for being a thief, but are they really a thief? I mean, they're not taking whatever they're stealing down to the pawn shop. It's probably some kind of food, and they're, like, eating it or bringing it to the den so everybody can eat. I kind of want to give them a pass on the whole robber thing, but sticky fingers. They do have that silly little reputation. Oh crap, my cat's going nuts to come in. I just let him out. See, that's not good though. If he's making a fuss, and I don't want to turn the camera off, I'll be right back. Hold on, Puffer. Come in. Hold on, buddy. Puffer. And he's not out there. False alarm, I guess. Now see, well, I was going to say, I should have left the radio turned up so you could have some music, but I can't do that, so hum along to yourself. He wasn't out there. I heard something hit the glass, so, I mean, I hope he's okay. Anyway, you know, it's funny that I was talking about these guys, because the reason why I just left to go make sure he was okay is because there could have been one of these guys out there, because the food I leave out there for animals like them. But I had just let him out, like right before I started doing this. So I was just worried that there was an altercation between my cat and maybe a raccoon, but I have seen them out there. This cat and the cat that I actually had both cats at the same time when I first got him, when he was a little kitten. So my other cat, like a full-grown cat, I've seen not all three of them at the same time, but I've seen both cats out there with raccoons, everybody on the same little pad. So we're talking like 6 by 8 feet, maybe. It's not very big. And there was a bunch of crap on there, like my plants and a chair. And so sometimes there would be 2 raccoons. The most I've seen is like a big one, and she had like 2 like adolescents. Like she was up on the deck and they were sitting on the grass just like a couple of feet away right behind them. And there was no cat out there that time, but I have seen at least 1 raccoon and 1 cat on there at the same time, and they were not fighting. My cats, I mean, they didn't get into any fights with them, is what I'm getting at. I was trying to get there. So, ow, good Lord, okay, everything hurts. And I haven't done anything. Maybe I should go out tomorrow and just act as if nothing hurts, and the opposite will happen. I don't know. Anyway, I like raccoons. I would love to have one for a pet, but lawnmower. Another thing about the raccoons is they have little hands. They are so cute. Oh my God. I'll peek at them, because if anything out there sees me looking, they get all freaked out and run away. And it stings right now because it's winter time, and I have like a thick curtain up to block out the cold, because this big dumb sliding glass door just does nothing to keep heat in or out. It's like in the wintertime. You know, it's like terrible for insulation is what I'm saying. So I have to put like a blackout up there to kind of block out some of the cold. And when I move that aside, oh my God, everybody runs for the hills. So I don't get to really see anything this time of year unless I'm unless I move really slowly, the curtain aside, so they don't notice. But everybody's on edge while they're there, looking over their shoulder, like take a bite, look over the shoulder. You know, they're enclosed on three sides, you know, and then the lawn and the grass is everything, and everything is behind them. And generally there's no one there. But, I mean, I guess that's the life of a stray. And also, both of my cats were very, like, they wouldn't run off the, I was going to say the Russians. They wouldn't run off the Russians because they were bigger. And they had those big old coats on and accents. But and the raccoons were like really respectful too. They were like, I know this is your porch. Can I come over here and get some food? Nobody was hissing. Nobody was giving looks. Everybody was just kind of like, wow, we're all animals here, right? Like, like there was no hostility that I've ever seen, and I've, you know, gotten to see it a bunch of times. So, I guess my raccoons are nice. Is that it about the little... Okay, so I'm going to read the book about the raccoon. Talented, shadowy, in hiding. They're certainly more timid, or I don't know. I think they're about as timid as you would expect. Where was I? Oh, I didn't start yet. Raccoon energy is at play within all artists to greater or lesser degrees. At least it indicates talent, tenacity, and skillfulness with a particular musical instrument or creative tool. Its shadow side points to an unresolved issue around self-image and success. That's interesting. Thanks for no details. I guess I'm just supposed to wing it on that. Well, no, I'm just going to skip it for now. Sometimes using a stage name or wearing a mask, rubble, works in an artist's favor. Other times it limits creativity. I hear it's really hard to go to the bathroom in this bat suit until Christian Bale insisted there be a zipper in those things. Oh my God, can you imagine? Do you know how long those people spend in those ridiculous costumes? I mean, it could be like over 8 hours, and I don't know, it's like, I'm sure, a wetsuit. But from what they say, it sounds like a wetsuit breathes more. And they don't, I mean, they're not exactly like, you don't want to go jogging in a wetsuit. They're not that breathable, is what I'm saying. Apparently the bat suits were worse. Rubber, just, I guess, full-on rubber. Move along. Oh my God. Okay, I'm going to read from the book again. Okay. Other time, the mask limits creativity. Am I who my audience thinks I am? What if I am ready to grow into something more? Well, shoot, I know musicians have a problem with that. People, mainly the record company, just want you to keep repeating the same thing that it was a hit. And then people, too, you know, want, you know, you to keep playing that same song that after about the 10,000th play, you hate it, and you just have to keep playing it. Sorry. Anyway, but the artist, you know, does not want to be stagnant forever. They do want to be able to, like, create and, you know, continue to evolve. And the record company is the other entity that will want you to, like, come on, keep making a hit. And it's like, You make a hit. You know what it's like to make a hit? Come try it. I don't think people often don't know what they're asking of other people so much. Anyway, what if I'm ready to grow into something more? Raccoon energy won't let us off the hook until this creative ego fear is resolved. So, what I started to say when I started reading and decided to wait on was this here sentence that says, its shadow side points to an unresolved issue around self-image and success. So, yesterday's video, or the day before, or I shouldn't say the days, because my days are not concurrent. I mean, they are. Anyway, last video before, maybe, I was talking about really successful people, like politicians, or, any kind of creative, I guess, that, like, makes it big. So, music, drama, actor, whatever, and whoever works in any of those fields. You make it big, that's what I'm talking about. Especially if you're like the public face of whatever the product is. You will have an ego, otherwise how in the hell do you get out there and do anything in front of a bunch of people? Something's got to hold you up, right? But what I was saying in other videos is, if you have that, like if you're the president, like, you're gonna be the one guy or woman, if that ever happens, which it will eventually, but that one person to run the whole country, I mean, you got a whole bunch of subordinates, but still, ego. And the entertainers that I mentioned. But the thing behind that, the shadowy side to that, is that they're almost to a one, really badly insecure about whatever, but they got it. They have learned how to work it, but they got it. Like, who was it? I think it may have been Donald Sutherland. And he was talking about his crushing, like, I'm just going to encapsulate it in my own way and say crushing low self-worth, even in his, like, now later years of year after year after year of, I would think, looks pretty good success, but the thing that he was saying, I think it was a 60 Minutes interview, was that it just sounded like super crystallized stage fright, and I guess that would be crippling, but somehow they managed to, like, jump to their feet like they're healed and go out and do the acting. So, I'm not, like, saying it's not true. I'm just saying I don't know if I could do it. I get the whole crippling part. So that's, like, what you would normally think anyway about, like, success and, what's it say here? Come on, the paragraph's not, self-image and success. Paragraph's not that big. So, I mean, that is, like, the normal thing that I would think. Here's my thing, and it's probably a same version, like, the other side of the same coin or something, but I am not really into, like, going and doing a bunch of work for something. So, like, I'm not college educated. I never aspired to go there. I certainly never aspired to the debt. Screw that. Like, it's not worth it. Thank God for YouTube. I don't need it now, I hope. I think. But, what the heck was I gonna say? See, I got all that build up and now I don't know what the heck I was gonna say. Oh, so, before I meander off again, I just want to say that I feel like I'm pretty capable if I buckle down and do the work. And the reason why I'm not is because, like what I just said, I don't want to buckle. I'll do work if someone's paying me, but I will only do it again now for the right employer. What is that accent? For the right employer and the right job. But as far as like being a successful creative, I do still aspire to that, but damn, I'm moving slow, But I don't think it's a fear of failure. It's actually another strange version of it. It's the fear of success, because it's like, that sounds like a lot of work. As soon as people start appreciating you, it looks like you are then obligated to do more in return. Like they have noticed you and are appreciating you, and now I think it's a two-way thing. I think you want the attention and the involvement, otherwise why else are you doing it? But it also sounds like if you get really popular and you have to do a lot of stuff that you're obligated to, that just sounds like a bummer to me. But well, I don't know. We'll see what the future holds. But that was why I paused. So is that weird? I have a fear of success. So did I finish the paragraph? Yes, I did. So there's a few little more lines here that I will read for you. When in balance, generous friend, exceptional artist. When out of balance, competitive, starving artist. Gotta straighten up and fly right, or you ain't gonna eat. And stay in balance. To bring into balance, make new work. Work, 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 work. Oh my God, this is not the beaver card. Ease up with all the work. I'm again it. I know that's a terrible attitude for an American to have with our capitalist tradition. I guess I'm a deviant. I'm a mutant. So the hands actually, what am I doing on time here? The hands actually said something else to me, and it refers again to previous videos. And like I said in the last one, and I know it was the last one I said this in, there tends to be some bleed through, kind of, some carryover. Am I getting a bald spot right there too? God, it looks like it. Hooray! I think I have one right here. Okay. There, it's fixed now. The hell was I just gonna say? Stupid bald spot sidetracked me. The hand. Oh, the bleed through and the carryover from the other videos was the helping the needy, the lending a helping hand to those people. So I guess that's where, like, see the spiritual part that I talked about in my notes, I did not click it open. I just read the preview. And the last thing it says there is lend a hand. So, it's another way of utilizing the tools at the ends of your arms, I guess. But it's more than the physical, I guess, operation, the use of the hands. It's the intent behind it. It's the desire to help, that that willingness to come to the aid of someone that needs help, that you can help. So there's gonna be a lot of contention over, like, what kind of person are you gonna be in the new year, in the new world? What kind of world do you want to live in? What kind of government do you want to have? What kind of people do you want to have running that government, in there running it for you on your behalf. That is something that we really have to take in hand much more than we do as a country, because I know a lot of us claim, that we're too busy to be bothered with it, or that it's depressing or scary, or there's so many reasons you could just not want to deal with it. And I get it. I mean, I look at it all the time, but there's a lot of reasons for that. Trust me, I wouldn't be looking at as much news if my television was working or my laptop. But, things are such as they are for a little while longer. Are we going to be the offering a hand society, and the kind and caring society, and the one that has an open heart, and that they can have faith in the idea that the person that is so bizarre and alien to them that you can't quite get it straight in your mind that this person once was a female, but that is not who they identify to themselves as. So maybe they transitioned. Are we going to be the people that can, despite our reservations about something like that, not be a wiener about it and give that person a hard time and make their life miserable? And also, you're not really racking up any points for yourself if you do that kind of thing. I mean, you are and you aren't. You gotta have bi-level thinking. Or will we be the robber nation that basically preys on its population, which I feel like we're teetering on so many, we're barely imbalanced, teetering on so many corners, so many possibilities. Everything that happens going forward is going to be like a decisive point for us all to experience, feel, and reflect on. And I really hope that the helping hands of us win out. And eventually I know it will be that way, because that is really our true inclination, all people. Some of us get emotionally and psychologically messed up, and it doesn't seem like we have those. And then some of us are just, those parts are left out, and it's not anyone's fault, although what it may cause them to do is fault-worthy, fault-riddled, like serial killers. Serial, repetitive, recidivist killers. Just one pop and they can't stop. Sorry, Pringles. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, we have decisions to make, and then, adjustments. And that's constant, but for myself, I am more inclined to think of myself first, but I do have definitely other people in mind, like sufferer people, captive people in bad situations, and people in okay situations, and people in great situations. Like I feel for everyone. That's the wrong word, but everyone's always on my mind. Like there's always a prayer or something going out to people that are like in need of it. Like, what else? I mean, what else do you pray? Like, you got yourself and you got your family, and then what else? And it's like, even if it's not praying, it's just like, oh my gosh, this terrible thing is happening to dolphins, like that, and that becomes your heart's pursuit. You know what I mean? Like a good thing there's a whole bunch of us to get all hard pursued it on. Because there's a lot of stuff to attend to to be of interest to someone. It's just a matter of, do you want to build it up and love it and nurture it, or do you want to tear it down and hate it and hurt it because you didn't get loved and nurtured? Like, how about skipping the middle step and everybody work together and shake hands, hold hands. It's nicer. It's more comforting. People will help you and not hurt you and tear you down. I'm voting for this. I'm sorry, Raccoon, that you had to be that image for the other. But look how cute. It's not. It's just an example. It's not the actual, you know. It's not the actual rubble. So, okay. Thank you and good night.